First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rachel Coulter.
And if you are just now tuning in, two main things that we're going to be watching for looking ahead to the rest of the 7-day forecast. One, on Wednesday, we'll still see hot temperatures, actually just a couple of degrees above average, pretty comparable to where we were today. We're looking at the low 90s, but it just won't be as humid, which is going to be really nice, especially given the time of year. And I'll show you what that means in terms of your impacts here in just a second. Then we get to the rest of the 7-day forecast, end of the week, weekend, start of next week, and our feels like temperatures are going to be ramping back up because our temperatures are going up and our dew points will go back up as well. So here's what this is going to look like. What I'm mapping out for you, your feels like temperatures and your high temperature forecast on a daily basis. Let's start with tomorrow. I'm forecasting a high temperature of 92 degrees and we'll feel like the mid 90s. So this time of year, not all that bad, but watch what happens. Not only will our actual high temperatures heat back up pretty close to where they were yesterday, but our feels like temperatures as well. In fact, I would not be surprised if we had additional heat advisories issued for this weekend, as feels like temperatures could reach above 105 degrees once again. So enjoy the brief break from the heat and the humidity, running about 10 degrees cooler right now than we were this time yesterday. And it unfortunately is still humid. Dew points in the low 70s, pushing the feels like temperature still into the 90s, even despite the fact that we're sitting into the 80s. That changes tomorrow. Looking across the area, we actually have 90-degree temperatures right now in Wadesboro, down towards Lancaster, Rock Hill, Chester, 70s, where we've seen a lot of that rainfall, not only in the mountains, but in the foothills. Our front that was draped north of the area yesterday is now south of the area, still dealing with some lingering showers, one of which now is moving through Union County, about to push into Lancaster County. If it holds together, it's moving south at about 15 miles per hour, impacting Indian Land and 521, the Blakeney community, Weddington along 16 as you travel into Union County. So heads up Mineral Springs and out towards Waxhaw. These downpours that are just south now of Wesley Chapel and extending south of the Monroe area are headed in your direction, and eventually, if they hold together, again, could see some impacts a little bit closer to Lancaster County, especially as we near about 6 o'clock this evening. Still tracking some of these downpours along the I-40 corridor or just to the east of the Morganton area. Downpour south of Linville Falls and some additional showers in northern Cleveland County. Going to keep at least a low-end chance for a few showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder through the rest of the evening, with temperatures staying in the 80s for any of those evening plans. Waking up in the 70s, it's still going to be a humid start. High temperatures in the low 90s, forecasting a high temperature of 92 degrees tomorrow afternoon in the Charlotte area, upper 80s in our northwestern counties. Here's where it's going to feel different for us. There's your forecast dew points. I think starting off early in the morning, still in the low 60s, but we could spend the better part of the mid-morning, midday, early afternoon hours with dew points in the upper 50s, putting us in that comfortable range, even despite the low 90s. So enjoy it while it lasts, because it won't last long. We start to see the dew points, the temperatures, and even the rain chances pick right back up through the rest of the 7-day forecast, upper 90s by this weekend.
All right, Rachel, thank you.